I was browsing the Twitters, which I'm known to do. And the people who are on Twitter, there was a thing that it's not as popular as it was before. It was like nonstop, like a month or so ago, where it kept getting all these unpopular edition, where it was like it would bring up a topic and like unpopular opinion, and like you say what you felt about it, so on and so forth. And someone had an interesting one that I wanted to bring up on the show. Someone had they asked for unpopular opinions, Kanye West edition, which this person chimed in and said Kanye was never woke. He was just a contrarian. He spoke up for black people when it was unpopular, and now that it's unpopular to be a Trump supporter, he is on that way. Oh.
Wait, so you think he got on it for the sake of popularity?
Yo, so shouts out to what is this at Lincoln Blades who chimed in with that, and he does have a good point. Like the question is like, is Kanye, was he ever actually woke? Like, because again, like when Kanye came out and he was college dropout and he was super pro black and super this and super that, that's when we're at the height of the drug rap. Like I mentioned that during my previous life or whatever when I was in the music industry, and that was one of the things when I kind of got done with music, was the simple fact the trap dudes, the drug dudes, like they was running hip hop and they weren't letting anybody else in. It was like, okay, like I'm kind of sick of this battle, and Kanye got on pumping up black people and blackness and just all this thought-provoking backpack shit or whatever, because that was not what everybody else was on, and people were calling him gay and people were making fun of him because of all of that. And then maybe he wasn't really on that wave. It was just, hey, this is what you guys don't agree with, so this is what I'm gonna do. And now it's like, oh, hey, yeah, black people don't like Trump. Oh, well, I like Trump. You can't tell me what to do. I speak like this now.
I mean, it's funny because you see the wavelengths that he's going, both in that time where people can argue, like you mentioned before, having, was it a rhyme sayer or rhyme sayer?
Rhyme sayer, yeah.
Rhyme sayer. Him writing his shit when he was on a backpack tip, before making the money. Some would say, right? You could say him getting with Kim Kardashian, who's he's loved all his life, before she was popping. At the same time, her being loved, adored, and also hated and awfully imitated, booty diaper babe. Like he definitely goes, he takes all of it. But you figure, why would he back away from this if anything, he, although not overly loved by minority communities, but I don't know, you just figure he would have rolled that fucking wave, unless again it's just the backlash was that big.
And it's go ahead.
I was saying, then at the same time, you see Kim Kardashian doing her philanthropist fucking pro bono lawyer shit, trying to get motherfuckers off the
you get out of jail
Trump.
And you get out of jail and you get out of jail. Yeah.
So they're definitely making off of it, and I'm wondering why he didn't double down, unless he really didn't want to lose his black card. I mean, yeah.
So the weird thing with Kanye, so like for one, like when he got on all his Trump stuff, it was hard to believe, just off of the simple fact of he made Jesus walk. He's never going to hell. Like, what the fuck? No, off the simple fact of like, you listen to him on College Dropout and then you see how he is today, and he's a parody of himself before, and it's hard to like kind of wrap your head around that. Now, you could say that Kanye doesn't quite follow politics the way that the rest of us are, and he's not aware of what's going on. Or if you want to get super deep conspiracy Illuminati boys, remember when he had that mental health breakdown at his house and they came and picked him up? He ain't been the same since.
The motherfucker went blonde afterwards. What the fuck is that?
He has not been the same since. Could Kanye be dead and this is a clone that's out?
I mean, you've seen the Paul McCartney documentaries, haven't you?
I'm just putting that out there. I don't know. But yeah, something's definitely up with Kanye, and I thought that was a hot take, and it kind of made me think, like, I don't know, you might be onto something, because yeah, Kanye was on that pro-black shit when it wasn't cool to be pro-black, and then when hip-hop got pro-black, he showed it, get the fuck away from it.
What was the first album after 808 and Heartbreak? Was
I
it
think My Beautiful
Watch
Dark.
the Throne, or was it My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy?
Angela, good question. I'm gonna look at that up on Google Plus or Google Play real quick while you're waxing poetically.
I didn't even know they still had Google Plus. Fucking talk about an awkward moment, like in a fucking movie where all of a sudden you see a goddamn Blockbuster and the kid has to ask you, "What the fuck is a Blockbuster?" Oh, it's a place we gotta go get movies. Oh, you mean that movies that come on the fucking TV? Yeah. You mean the movies that we can pause? Yeah. Did you ever take
It was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy in 2010 because then Watch the Throne was 2011.
Okay, so then he definitely was over. I mean, I guess he was already. I mean, he's been showboasty right since the beginning. I mean, graduation when he fucking started going disco with it. I mean, that was a big telltale sign. But can you believe then that? Cause so then, I mean, obviously not to say that his mama passing didn't alter shit, but at the same time, he made a lot of fucked up decisions, like Amber Rose, like fucking Amber Rose. Like he just
Yeah, I don't know if I can call Amber Rose a bad decision because Amber Rose taught us how to be a bad bitch.
And
be your favorite track, bitch.
And look how terrible the hoes of America are. Yo, so did you hear about the beef about Jermaine Dupri? They had jumped on his ass.
Yes, I had a link for it, but I didn't have a whole lot on it. But yes, I saw Jermaine Dupri said that all female rappers are rapping like strippers or something like that.
No, and you obviously want to hear the whole thing to know. I think it was on Sway. You want to hear the whole thing to understand where he was coming from. But even in that snippet, there's nothing to take out of context. There's literally a fucking surplus. A surplus when you have too much of something, overflow, overstock. There's so many fucking quote unquote baddies on the World Star Hip Hops, which of course is full of ratchetness and that's just full on intent. But you see these stripper bitches that literally look like they just worked a shift the night before, took those fucking earnings and said, look, we're gonna put this towards post-production, we're gonna put it towards the scenery, we gotta rent a car, I'm gonna need a couple Glocks, I'm gonna need me some hood niggas, I'm gonna need me a kitchen, because there's always a scene in the fucking kitchen, so you know they're at the mama's house, you tell they was being quiet, mom was in the fucking room. But you see them, it's a cookie cutter thing now. And again, some people, like, again, there's always someone to break the mold, but Cardi B really took the fucking, what was the movie with Julia Roberts where she was a whore but she had a heart of gold? It's the pretty woman aspect of the round the way girl, which we've been talking about. I mean, round the way, that's just, you know what I'm saying, that's around the block. Why wouldn't you want something comforting and familiar? And again, throwing the, mind you, no one should ever slut shame. And if you make decisions that you have to make to get to certain places that you've been to get to where you want to be, hey, that's your journey, right? But we're also glorifying it, and we're also letting people know beyond the facts, beyond knowing what pushed them to make this hard fucking decision, other than a bitch who had money that said, fuck you, daddy, I'm gonna find me a sugar, you know what I'm saying, and then go through all the horisms to do this ratchet shit. So it does kind of promote it, bro. Like to those that don't have that structure, that don't have the know withal, like it promotes it.
So my take though on it is like, so two-sided. One, I think Jermaine Dupri's biggest mistake was saying him saying all female rappers, because you got Tierra Whack, you got Rhapsody, like you got a gang of like female rappers who are actually fucking
and then
dope.
Cardi B ain't gonna shout out Snow the Product, bitch.
Snow the Product, like it's so many like dope female rappers. So to say that all females are rapping like strippers, that's stupid. Because no,
but who's out there though? But who's out there making waves?
Well, so that's my next take. So that's my next take. Is then the other side of it is again the machine. So it's like the machine is the one that's pushing this ratchet shit. So, and for people who don't believe that there is a machine, and again, the machine, Illuminati, two different things or whatnot. By machine, this is the record labels and who they're pushing in a position of power, if you will. It's business. And so it's very clear that there's a machine in play when Nicki Minaj was unfucking touchable. You cannot touch Nicki Minaj whatsoever. She was top of the charts nonstop. The quality of her music, I don't think has dropped. And I'm not even a Nicki Minaj fan, but I don't think like she's putting out whack shit. She's doing the same shit. She's doing the same thing she's been doing. But the machine switched and was like, oh shit, we off Nicki. We're moving over here to Cardi. Same way the machine started trying to, and it still is early in the process or whatnot, but the machine is trying to say, hey, Drake, we off you. We're moving on to Chance the Rapper. The machine makes movements of who is that new hotness.
But yeah.
Well, so no, the Chance thing that hasn't started yet because Chance hasn't actually technically started putting out albums. So that's the one thing that kind of changes all that is that Chance hasn't technically put out an album yet.
What?
He hasn't put out an album.
Rap? I mean, with the mixtapes.
Coloring Book, mixtape. All those is mixtapes. He has not technically put an album out yet, so the machine hasn't gotten behind him. But so just going back to the women is that so like I can't say that all the women are all strippers and so on and so forth. That's what the machine is pushing. And same thing going back to my days as an artist or whatever. And just my days as an artist, like shit, I was on that backpack shit, God's Prophet. I was on some other shit. Like I thought
you was more streets. You was very close to the streets though, and your things. But I mean that's just
so I was the backpacker that hung with all the street niggas. So yeah. I was Wale in the sense of how Wale is with MMG. I was Wale. I was the backpacking nigga with all these niggas selling drugs and shit like that. That's where I was at, and it was like
the cops.
Yo, I don't know nothing, and I don't know where the bodies is. But no, and so that was the whole thing or whatever. Is just the simple fact of that. And so back when I was doing that, and it's like that wasn't what they were pushing, and then Kanye blew up, and when Kanye and 50 went head to head, and then Kanye blew up, they was like, oh shit, this backpack shit does work. And then all of a sudden you started getting the Asher Rolfs, and you started getting what was the one guy, what was the Charles Hampton?
That was a rapper.
Yeah.
I mean, wait,
no, there was a Charles, because it was Asher Rolf. It was Wale. It was like Charles Hampton or something like that. He ended up having like a mental health breakdown, but they started moving over to the backpackers because that was the new wave. So I don't know.
If you didn't like this podcast, it's probably because you're racist.
Yeah.
Fuck your feelings though.
Yeah. What's up, man? You hear me?